It cannot be overstated just how much of a hot item Jackie Chan was back in the 80s and 90s. His unique blend of death-defying stunts and slapstick fighting made him the Michael Jackson of Kung Fu, and we all know what happens when you're as popular as Michael Jackson. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is a game that I want to buy a drink for. A succulent blend of impressive visuals, satisfying action, and the most melodic level themes ever heard on NES make this a must-play for the system. And yet, its popularity level remains at what could barely be called a cult classic. Hell, it might not even be that popular. Well, I'm here to tell you, that simply won't do. It was developed by Now Production, a Japanese company similar to Tosei in that their library of worked-on titles is ginormous, but you would never know it by looking at the boxes. They brought us games like Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti, the Pac-Man World remakes, Yo Noid, oh, so we have you to blame for that, and Silent Scope on Game Boy Advance? It's just like I'm at the arcade! I'm running out of windows and cats. If you guessed that Chan the Man's motivation is to get his girl back from some nefarious ne'er-do-well, congratulations, you've surmised the plot of most beat-em-ups of the era. The instructions say that it's actually Chan's sister, and some evil sorcerer made her disappear so he'd have an easier time taking over China. But us old-school gamers know how this works. It's practically a Pavlovian response for us. You put hands on my girl, and I am compelled to put hands on you, which was the style at the time. Action Kung Fu is kind of like an evolution of just playing Kung Fu on NES, just without the stiffness and difficulty spike that goes through the stratosphere in level 2.
That escalated quickly.
To put it simply, running, jumping, and kicking foes in the face with your energy legs feels really good. Every enemy encounter is a delicate balancing act of attacking at just the right moment. Not too early, not too late. Made easier by the visible screen being locked further to the right of your oversized sprite. This and the relatively slow movement speed of both you and your enemies helps to keep nasty surprises from being an issue. Us older gamers have all dealt with screen crunch that doesn't give you enough time to react to enemies and forces you to play cautiously. And this wouldn't be much of an action kung fu game if that were the case. The fact that I was rarely surprised by an enemy is some smart design on Now Pro's part, and it helps make this one of the most consistently engaging and fun games on the NES. Chan the Man's got a lot more than just a fistful of fury. Even without power-ups, he can bust out a farther-reaching kick in the air and do a crouching, toe jab? If you smack an item toad, it'll spit out either a life-restoring bowl of energy, apparently, or a special attack with limited uses, like an aerial somersault or a roundhouse kick that kicks both in front and behind you. These skills are a nice boost to your offense without ever feeling required or scarce. Your standard attacks are so rock solid that oftentimes I would come across a new power-up before depleting my current one. And there's even more. Hold down the attack button and Chan will charge up one of his iconic Psycho Waves. Ooh, the Psycho Wave. You know, I feel like I've heard that. Oh no. On a system with soundtracks like Mega Man 2, Batman, Journey to Silius, Dragon Spirit, and Ninja Gaiden, saying I think Action Kung Fu's music is better than the lot of them is the kind of clownish comment that would get tomatoes thrown at me in public. But damn, this soundtrack is good. All killer, no filler. You get a lot of positively charged melodic tunes to encourage you forward on your journey. It's the kind of soundtrack that makes a player say, I can do this. I definitely prefer the sound of the NES version over the PC Engine port, or TurboGrafx 16, whichever name you prefer. It's not bad, but it does some things I don't like. The level 1 theme sounds oddly like a cowboy western. Collecting 30 jade orbs dropped from enemies in the NES version gives you a full heal and restores your Psycho Wave uses. And picking them up is easy, they just spawn right where the enemy was and you walk into them. On the PC Engine, most of them careen in an arc right through you and you have to stop to collect them. It's annoying and kind of a pace killer. It's also way harder. Levels are longer, and the PC Engine's better hardware meant they could put more enemies on the screen at once. But it's still a perfectly serviceable port in its own right. There's a special attack that wasn't on the NES. The graphics are obviously more detailed, although I'm more impressed by how expressive Chan the Man's face is on NES. The higher challenge is refreshing compared to the relatively easy NES game. It even has its own collection of fun bonus levels unique from the NES version. Were the pissing statues necessary? If you've played the NES port to death and want a change of pace, the PC Engine is a good way to mix up the experience. Or you can load it up in 3D Sen for an all-new perspective. Or Super Bros Kung Fu Mary. Something tells me this wasn't officially sanctioned by Nintendo. This is a great game, based on one of my childhood heroes who put his body through hell just to entertain us. I actually read his autobiography this year, and you'd be amazed how many failures he endured on his journey to stardom. Like, however many times you think he failed, triple that number. Jackie Chan is an inspiration to anybody who's ever tried and failed to accomplish something. If there's one thing I learned from him, it's that the more seemingly unachievable the goal, the more valuable it is to fight for. Please leave a like if you like my style, and I'll see you next time. I've got something real special planned to start out 2026.
It's dead, Jim.
How did you miss twice? Okay, that's fine. You know what? In a way, I'm better with this.